Let's bring in our California guy, Steve Hilton. All right, Steve, what do you make of Biden using government money like this?
Well, it's very, very important that you put a spotlight on this today, Stuart, because this is what's happening right across our government where you have Democrats in charge, because the modern Democratic Party today is totally captured by this far-left faction of activists, ideologues. And so they go around putting up taxes from hardworking people in order to hand it out to these activists who make no productive contribution. They don't create jobs, they don't create wealth, they don't even solve the actual problems that they go on and on about. They just talk about the problems. But meanwhile, the tax burden just goes up and up and up, and you end up with a situation where the national economy here in California, the state economy, just becomes increasingly uncompetitive because they're just driven by these far-left activists in every direction.
On that point, we've got a report showing California Governor Newsom's budget. His proposal contains several indirect tax increases that could cost businesses maybe $18 billion, that much. Are we going to see more companies ditch California because of this kind of thing?
Yes. I mean, this is already happening. We've already had over 500 companies just in the last few years either leave the state completely or completely downsize their operations here. And when we talk about the budget, I want everyone to understand the scale of what's happened here. Just not much longer than about a decade ago, California's budget was under $100 billion. Now it's over 330, more than trebled. All while the population of our state has been flat or falling. So what's been happening? It's all this kind of spending that you were just talking about, doling out money to activists, and here in California in particular, to the government unions in luxury, pensions and healthcare. But instead of dealing with those things, they just keep adding the taxes on the assumption that companies just won't leave because the weather's too good and we love being in California. That is changing, and they're really playing around with the future of this state. We already have the highest unemployment, the lowest job growth, the lowest income growth, the worst business climate in America, all as a result of these far-left policies. We need a change of direction.
Last one for you, Steve, and it's related to this. California passed 3 reparations bills. They're trying to provide restitution to descendants of slaves. I got it, but 3 bills. How do Californians feel about that?
Well, here's another example, just the far-left activists in charge. And now here's where I do agree with the Democrats who are pushing this. Yes, it is true that there is a racial wealth gap in California. But guess what? It's not caused by slavery. It's caused by Democrat policy. What are the main drivers of building wealth and growing opportunity? A great education, the opportunity to own your own home and start a business. Look at what Democrat policies are doing that in the public schools. Black kids in California public schools run by the government unions that fund the Democrats. On average, a recent study showed 4 years of education behind white kids. Look at home ownership. The massive cost of owning a home here in California, the latest data, $900,000, the median house price. What's that driven by? The ridiculous environmental regulations, the pandering to the unions that make it 4 or 5 times as expensive to build a home here in California compared to neighboring states. So yes, there's a racial wealth gap, but if you want racial justice in California, there's a simple answer. Kick out the Democrats who've caused it and vote Republican.
How can Governor Gavin Newsom seriously run for the presidency of the United States with a history of what he's done in his own state, California? Is that a realistic run for the presidency?
Well, I mean, you've got to say, who else have they got? I mean, you look at the alternatives, but you're completely right. The California Democrats, Sacramento Democrats, have by far the worst record of any Democrat in the country. So it's not exactly a selling point for a national audience.
Got it. Steve Hilton, you have a great holiday weekend, please, and we'll see you again real soon.
And you, Stuart. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.